Yeah.
It's George.
It's Elaine.
Come on up.
Hey, Vinny, listen to
I never heard anything like this in my life. Listen to this.
This is exciting! This is exciting! Huh? Did I miss anything already?
Kramer, get in!
Where's the crazy man?
Hey! Sit down. Come on, it's about to start.
Hello, welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. Kel Varnson speaking, and to my left,
I'm Keith Hernandez.
yeah, you are.
How you doing?
Good.
This is a big episode, man. Like, I think when we first started, I was so excited to get to this episode. This was the episode I'm like, as long as we get to this one, I'll be happy.
We've broken through, so we can stop after this, right?
We could, yeah, theoretically, but I'm enjoying myself enough to keep going. But, I was thinking we should actually just jump right into it. What episode are we discussing today?
The 15th episode, and possibly 16th, depending on how you like to label it, of Season 3, The Boyfriend, written by Larry David and Larry Levin. Also directed by Tom Sharonis, and it aired February 12th, 1992.
Yeah, which is kind of exciting because the day this episode will be released is the very day that this episode aired, 23 years ago?
Oh,
So it's
you don't
nice.
say.
We're in sync.
Yeah.
But anyways, little disclaimer, if this is your first time listening, Vinny and I are following the episode order on our DVDs, which can contradict the original air date order. Also, we are going to spoil future episodes, so we recommend that you buy Seinfeld on DVD, watch all the episodes, and join us again. So, Vinny, I'll go to you. Who's this Larry Levin guy?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I was waiting for you to tell me.
we didn't do our homework on him?
No, I didn't.
Well, after a quick Google search, Vinny, what did you turn up?
Not much, Matt. Not much. No, Larry Levin is a writer. He only wrote 2 episodes of Seinfeld, Boyfriend Parts 1 and 2. He wrote on It's Gary Shandling's Show, 6 episodes. And he wrote the screenplay for Dr. Dolittle. He wrote Dr. Dolittle 2. And he wrote the screenplay for I Love You Man, the Jason Segel and Paul Rudd buddy comedy.
Oh, you're a fan of that one, right?
I do like that one, yes.
I've yet to see it.
You probably wouldn't like it.
All right. Well, let's get into some trivia for this week's episode. This is like I mentioned at the top, a big episode. This is the first hour-length Seinfeld episode. We'll get a couple of these as the series goes on, but this episode was, again, originally supposed to air during February sweeps week, and this is when ratings mattered most for the networks. Larry and Jerry were having trouble because they had just too much material to do a normal half-hour episode, but also not enough for an hour length. So they had to decide which way to go, and I'm really glad that they were able to pad out the episode, so to speak. There's just so much good stuff here.
Yeah.
It's a shame if this would, be one of those half-hour episodes that has, 15 minutes of deleted scenes. But
right.
they went up to Warren Littlefield, and they, asked them, hey, we're kind of struggling. Can we do an hour? And he was, of course, like more than thrilled for them to do this because
he's on board at this point.
Oh yeah, because this is such a great show at this point. It hasn't really reached the heights that it eventually would, but
it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, and he was excited because this is such an important week for TV shows that again, yeah, he was more than happy to extend it.
And Larry David has said in interviews, you get to this netherworld of being at 30 minutes or 33 minutes of a show, and do you add enough for 2 shows, which would be about 46 minutes, or do you cut to get down to 22 minutes? And like you said, in this instance, they added, but they didn't have too much to add. I believe the Keith Hernandez Elaine storyline with him smoking was what they had to add.
Yeah,
right?
Originally, again, I forget where exactly I heard this, but I think Keith only had 2 scenes initially, or like roughly 2 scenes. It was the first meeting with Jerry, and then I think the last one when he was
the ending with the moving.
Yeah, with the moving. And the Elaine storyline might have existed, but there was no footage like them at the bar, the 2 scenes, the car scene. And I think that's it. So it's about maybe 5-6 minutes.
And I'm not referring to Seinfeld specifically, but I feel like sometimes you can tell with an hour-long episode, it feels like there's been filler added. I could not tell going through this at all. It just, every scene and every bit was solid from start to finish. And I just smile on my face, and I feel like a 10 might be coming out at the end of the episode here.
Well, yeah,
I'm not, but it's possible. We'll see.
Yeah, as Marvel gets the rights back to Spider-Man and Jon Stewart leaves the Daily Show, our
a 10 on
10
Seincast
score will be trending. But yeah, man, this is. I know the feeling of an hour-long episode. In addition to Seinfeld, my second love is Twilight Zone, the original Rod Serling show from the 60s. And they did a season of just hour-length episodes. This is, taking a 30-minute to an hour. And, oh man, it's painful at times. Like, I know that feeling of watching a show that really, in a sense, operates best as that half-hour format.
Quit telling your stupid story and just die already.
Well, another bit of trivia. Another bit of trivia here. The episode is called "The Boyfriend," as we know, but originally during the table read, the production scripts had it titled as "The New Friend," which I thought was interesting, like appropriate title. But something about the boyfriend works on so many levels this episode.
I agree, because you hear boyfriend, you assume, oh, it's Elaine's boyfriend. Mm-hmm. But if you hear new friend, it's like, who's new friend?
Sure. And even George has a bit of a boyfriend storyline this episode. So it works on a lot of levels. So on to Keith Hernandez, the guest star this week. And I think maybe is he like the first person who's played himself in a Seinfeld episode?
Yes. I would say yes. We haven't how many notable guest stars have we had at this point?
Well, I mean, you have like somewhat big names like Lawrence Tierney and Michael Chiklis, but they're bigger now, or Michael Chiklis is bigger now than he was then. But
no celebrities have played, like you said, themselves.
Right, like we'll get a Mel Torme later in the season. Who else will we get?
Raquel Welch.
Yes, a lot of like real world personalities, but
just like in Curb, they're playing somewhat of a grandized version of themselves. Maybe not Keith Hernandez per se, but most of them are, a larger than life representation of themselves.
Well, I like the fact that, Keith Hernandez is, of course, not an actor, and he was a bit reluctant to do the show at first, but it was his agent, Scott Boras, who first made contact with Seinfeld and kind of got put the wheels in motion for this to happen. And when Keith originally got this script, he saw that he had a lot of line, which actually started to grow as the show went on, and they added these Elaine storylines. So he was pretty nervous, to film in front of a studio audience. But on the flip side, Jerry was also nervous as well, because Keith was one of his favorite players, apparently. And in the morning of the first shoot, Jerry commented how he was just sweating and he was just speechless around Keith. And I think that really comes off on screen this episode. He
was actually staring into his closet, trying to pick out what he was going to wear, similar to what he did in the episode. Because as Julia says in some of the interviews, all the boys on set just huddled around Keith and thought of him as a god. And she was the one who was not as, didn't have as much enthusiasm for him being there.
Right. Or at least she's just like, yeah, what's the big deal?
Just some guy with a mustache.
And, of course, since filming, Jerry and Keith, I guess, have become really good friends. In fact, Jerry sat in as a commentator. I think it was back in 2010 during a Mets-Tigers game, which is pretty cool if anyone hasn't seen that online yet. Now, onto the, let's say, like one of the other storylines this episode, which to me is, I think, why I love this episode so much. This is the JFK parody scene with Kramer and Newman. I did not know this, but Tom Leopold, who is the writer from The Cafe and The Suicide, we've talked about him a few times on the show. He actually is a real assassination buff. And with JFK, the Oliver Stone movie having just come out, which actually features Wayne Knight in it, if no one's seen it.
What's his character name in that movie?
It's Numa, which I didn't know, actually. Yeah, that was a odd bit of trivia. And Wayne Knight, as a matter of fact, actually said it's sort of a serendipitous moment for all these events sort of to come together, which this JFK parody scene kind of, came out of.
I want to try and work a Karma Kramer joke and a Numa Newman joke in there, but I just can't do it.
Well, Jerry commented that filming the scene with Kramer and Newman was one of the most exciting moments of the series because it had this, really long, complicated speech, but at the same time, he was really concerned about it not working. Apparently, the first take is what's in the episode, which is fantastic.
Fabulous.
Mm-hmm. But the JFK sequence, the parody of the Magic Bullet and the Zapruder film, whatnot, this is sort of a like an unprecedented moment in Seinfeld, and a little moments like this have popped up before. I think of like the dream sequence in the what is it? The baby shower
when Jerry got shot by the police officers. Yes,
like, or there's also the we don't get a lot of cutaways in the show, but we got a cutaway in the nose job with Jerry meeting the woman in the elevator.
Right.
So this is kind of like another, I don't want to say experimental, but for the show, something that we don't really see a lot of. The not just the long drawn out story, but the cutaways to the Zapruder film stock footage. It's something that I think we'll see a lot more of in later seasons.
Yeah. When does Morty get impeached and he has to do that long walk?
That's Nixon.
Equivalent to Nixon being impeached.
I think that's an Oliver Stone movie too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they really. And there's also, there's a lot here. In the Fatigues, when Frank.
Yes.
That's Platoon, which is another Oliver Stone movie. When they're all throwing up and whatnot, the music playing. So two great examples. Not just Oliver Stone, but this. Yeah, doing some kind of like film parody within the show. I don't know. I think some Seinfeld fans might not dig that kind of humor because it is very broad and it's easy. Like anyone can do that in a sense.
Oh, screw them.
But at least with The Boyfriend, this JFK parody just, I think, works on so many levels. One other bit of trivia here. This episode at the time was Jerry's favorite episode, which... feels right. Like you can't tell necessarily when he's not having a good time. I assume he always liked filming these episodes, but he just seems to love just every bit of dialogue he has in this episode.
And this one is a very Jerry-centric episode. He's not playing the straight man. He's it, He's going through these trials with Keith, and they got this really unnatural relationship that he's having trouble defining. So it's kind of nice that Jerry becomes the center of attention for once.
Yes.
And my one gripe with this episode that we'll get to is that Julia has the weakest storyline and the least amount of material to work with.
That's true. You're right.
Vinny doesn't like that. So what do you say we get to the show?
Oh, let's do it.
See, to me, you go in the health club, you see all these people, and they're working out, and they're training, and they're getting in shape. But the strange thing is nobody's really getting in shape for anything. The only reason that you're getting in shape is that so you can get through the workout. So we're working out so that we'll be in shape for when we have to do our exercise. This is the whole thing. The other thing I don't get about it is why we're so careful about locking up our dirty towels and smelly jock straps. What exactly is the black market on these disgusting gym clothes? I'll give my car to any valet guy in front of a restaurant because he's got a short red jacket. Yeah, he must be the valet guy. I don't even think about it. But my stinking putrefied gym clothes, I got one of these locks. You can put a bullet through it and it won't open. That stuff is safe.
So, as a 9-year CrossFitter, Vinny, do you relate to this at all? Like, why are you working out so much? I mean,
well, I would agree. In some aspects that, none of us are professional athletes. It's not our job. We're really working out just to get to the next workout, to keep up with it. But I have to say, I think Jerry could have touched on some sort of, we're doing it so we can look good naked, so we can attract a mate. And I think that's a lot of people I work out with would say, yeah, I'm young, I'm trying to meet people, I want to look good naked. So that would be my comment on that. Any thoughts for you?
Well, I mean, other than for me, it's just like I want to live a long time, or like as long as I can.
Oh yeah,
that's one reason. But
yeah. Well, I say if you want it bad enough.
Yeah, if you want it, it's true. That's very true. If you want it bad enough. I was listening to this great Jerry Seinfeld interview. It's available on iTunes. It's called Jerry Seinfeld on Comedy, and he's just talking about the craft and whatnot. And the interviewer asks him, "Are there any ways to make stand-up comedy easier?" And if you don't know, Jerry Seinfeld has like one of the strongest work ethics than anyone else out there. From day one, has been breaking his back to master stand-up comedy, so to speak. And he says, no, like if you wanna do this, like be a stand-up comedian, there are no shortcuts. You have to work at it. And as you put it, Vinny, if you want it bad enough, you'll do it and you'll stick through it.
Doesn't he also say something akin to like, comedy is like a muscle, and if you don't work it out every day or work it out regularly, it's gonna break down. You're gonna get soft, and you're not gonna be as sharp.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he equates that to working out as well.
Yeah, his insight on stand-up comedy as a craft and a trade is just fascinating.
You can tell it's his passion, his life's passion, and it still has not wavered for him at all. He sops it up talking comedy with other comedians, and you can see it on Comedians in Cars. He loves that. Anyway.
So our first scene of the episode is at the YMCA, our first trip to the Y on Seinfeld. I feel like this is a place, or at least they go to a few gyms in the show, but I think they go to like health clubs and whatnot.
Yes.
I think we get back to the Y at some point, but Jerry and George and Kramer are getting changed in the locker room. They just finished a game of basketball with some other guys, I guess, and the three of them are just complaining how each other played, which I love. Kramer is saying the other two are hogging the ball, while Jerry claims he never saw the ball. All Jerry does is dribble. Jerry says, if he gives the ball to George, he just shoots. He's a chucker, and there's a lot of chucker talk here.
Kramer seems to be quite the athlete, from what we're learning. He's an avid golfer, as we'll see in this episode. He's good at basketball, and then we learned last week that he's quite the softball player. He couldn't get anything by him.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So, yeah, Kramer's a very good athlete.
Do you... go ahead.
Yeah. No, and I love this business of being a chucker.
Yeah.
And that it's a bad thing, and that George comes to this realization that he is a chucker.
Yeah, he's like, I can't
all
believe
these
it.
Years.
Yeah, like it's the worst thing in the world, but I guess you don't want to be known as that guy. Well, I think of George, like he's probably the shortest guy on the court.
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't have like the skills to pay the bills. I don't know, and he's just always throwing it.
Nice drop.
Thanks. Kramer does bring up though how this is the first time they've ever seen each other naked, which is a very Kramer thing to bring up. And Jerry denies sneaking a peek. He made a conscious effort not to look, but Kramer says, "Oh, of course I did." Which is great. Kramer is very laid back, very open about his sexuality. But what always blows my mind is how George admits he did too. He's a little hesitant.
He's ashamed to admit it, but yeah, I snuck a peek. But I didn't see anything. It was really just a glimpse,
Yeah, exactly.
But it's very fitting for each character. How you would think each character responds is how they respond. Jerry, I don't want anything to do with it. I make a conscious effort not to look, but George is curious, and he is going to look.
Yeah, we're getting that return of, like I accused of George being a homophobe in earlier episodes, but I don't think it's necessarily that he is homophobic. He, I think, is just more terrified about being gay himself, or the possibility that he might have feelings for another man.
Or I think he's conscientious about people getting the wrong idea about his sexuality.
That too.
Something like that. We'll see later in this episode. He comments that Keith Hernandez is an attractive man.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's grown.
Kramer heads out, and George notices a guy stretching in the locker room.
Look at this guy. Does he have to stretch in here?
You know who that is? That's Keith Hernandez.
Keith Hernandez? The baseball player?
Yeah, that's him.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Wow. Keith Hernandez. He's such a great player.
Yeah. He's a real smart guy, too. He's a Civil War buff.
I'd love to be a Civil War buff. What do you have to do to become a buff?
So Biff wants to be a buff. Well, sleeping less than 18 hours a day would be a start.
I only got 2 weeks left of unemployment. I gotta prove I've been looking for a job to get an extension.
Hey, should we say something to him?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he loves to hear from fans in the locker room.
Why, he could say hello to me. I wouldn't mind.
He's Keith Hernandez. You're Jerry Seinfeld.
So?
What, are you comparing yourself to Keith Hernandez? The guy's a baseball player, Jerry. Baseball.
I know what he is. I recognized him. You didn't even notice him.
What, you're making some wisecracks in a nightclub? The guy was in Game 6, 2 runs down, 2 outs, facing elimination.
Excuse me. I don't want to disturb you. I'm Keith Hernandez, and I just want to tell you what a big fan I am. I love your comedy.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I've always wanted to do what you do.
Do what I do? You're one of my favorite ball players of all time.
Mine too.
I love that bit about Jimmy Olsen.
Really? Thank you.
So why does George have a problem with Keith right from the get-go, stretching in the locker room?
I think it's just because it's like, is it pretentious or just he doesn't think it's appropriate? I mean, I get that, but
It's always something with George, though. Like, he's always got to have a problem with something. When I think about it, I've never seen somebody stretch in the locker room. I think it would be weird if they did.
Right. Why not
But
just do that wherever you're working out?
But George has to make a comment.
Of course, yeah. I do love the term, and we brought this up at the top regarding Tom Leopold, his being a buff with assassinations, specifically the JFK assassination. But I love the term Civil War buff. I don't know why. It's just
I just love buff in general, being a buff about something. And
Yes.
I'm ashamed to admit, or as a pathetic, that I think the only thing I could be a buff at is Seinfeld.
That's good. He's a real Seinfeld buff.
I'm embarrassed to tell people, in the wild that don't know the show, like, oh yeah, I know a lot about Seinfeld, but
Sure.
I kind of keep that close. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is our third Biff reference. We first heard it in the subway.
Yes.
Then we heard it in the Pez dispenser. Now we got it in the boyfriend. So there's 3 references right there, and there's more coming.
Are there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah, Biff, and it works so well here with Biff and Buff. It's just great. We get a little bit here too of George's unemployment. He's been unemployed in a sense. He's had a few gigs, going all the way back to season 2, The Revenge. So
Yeah.
definitely the through line for George this season,
And
unemployment.
he had the stint with Pendant, which didn't work out. He was only there for what, 12 hours before he got fired?
Yeah, one day.
And again, Jerry is sticking it to George. How about sleeping less than 18 hours a day? That'd be a start, Never gets old.
No, never. And Keith Hernandez, I have to say, he's you see a lot of athletes, I feel like, doing cameos on sitcoms and whatnot. Even on Seinfeld, we'll meet a few of the Yankees.
Yeah.
But he's good. Like he's not amazing, but like he feels like a normal guy engaging with these characters.
He's being very natural.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say, George is being such an ass when Jerry's like, well, should we say hello? And George goes, who are you? Who is George to put down Jerry,
Yeah, that's
How could you be friends with somebody that talks to you like that?
the look of disgust on his face when he's like, "You're Jerry Seinfeld."
He's Keith Hernandez.
Yeah. Well, George goes on to say, talk about being appropriate. He just, wonders, with all the ball clubs flying around all season, wouldn't you think there'd be a plane crash? And just perfect George, but Jerry is, of course, just shocked.
The look of repulsion from George saying that. And I feel like that's a thought that maybe a lot of people have.
It feels like a Larry David comment, like something out of Curb.
But they'll have this thought but never say it.
Yes.
Because it's just not discussed in polite society. But aren't the odds, very high that there would be at least one crash?
An entire team just gets wiped out.
George originally had a less controversial question to ask Keith Hernandez. He said, Keith, what you have to wonder is how soon the war would have ended if the North had the South's general and vice versa. But really, what kind of a color is gray for an army? That's a downer. Don't you think that's a downer?
So you would have been trying to be folksy, like, oh, this guy likes Civil War. Yeah.
Totally folksy.
Yeah, that's again, it feels like this is a Larry David, co-written script, but you can tell when the Larry stuff is popping up.
I prefer what they kept in with the plane crash.
Oh, yeah.
I think it makes for much better interaction between the two.
Oh yeah, if you can go morbid on Seinfeld, go morbid. Always the way to go.
So it wouldn't be Seincast if we didn't kind of touch on each guest star and each character they're playing. So I got a little info on Keith Hernandez. He was a baseball player who played from 1974 to 1990. So he had just retired, and then was probably at the height of his popularity.
When did he retire? Sorry,
1990.
Oh, 90. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
He played first base for the St. Louis Cardinals, New York Mets, and Cleveland Indians. He was a 5-time All-Star. He won the World Series twice. He was the National League MVP in 1979, as he'll tell Elaine in the episode. And he was an 11-time Gold Glove winner. And there's a nice little Curb connection here because when they talk about Game 6, this is the infamous Game 6 that is referenced throughout the episode in which Mookie Wilson hit that slow dribbler that went through Billy Buckner's legs, causing the Mets to win Game 6 and ultimately go on to win the World Series over Boston.
What year was this again? Like 86?
1986.
86, okay.
Yeah, I saw every inning that year. But in the Curb episode, I believe it's Mr. Softy.
When he's in New York, yeah.
Yes, Larry will actually meet Bill Buckner, and
we should not ruin that at all.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. But Larry feels for Bill Buckner, and he wants to give Bill a chance to redeem himself. And I think watch this episode. Watch Mr. Softy and
yeah, even if you haven't seen Curb before, just watch the Bill Buckner Curb episode.
Yes.
Yeah. I was actually I'm not a big baseball guy, just in terms of the history and all these classic games, but reading up on this game and seeing that Bill Buckner name, I'm like, oh, this is the game
the big game.
Yeah.
If you go on YouTube, you can actually Google, New York Mets 1986 Game 6, and there'll be a nice little clip highlight, and you can see that last inning when they came back down from all these runs and tied it and went on to win it. So I highly recommend that. Also, Keith Hernandez only has 5 acting credits to his career.
Oh.
He was in a Law & Order episode. He was in that movie The Scout.
Oh, with Bruce Willis? No,
with I think Brendan Fraser and nice one. Brendan Fraser and Al Brooks, I think.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
I think he played himself.
It's a baseball movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was in 2 to 3 episodes of Seinfeld, The Boyfriend Parts 1 and 2, and the finale, which is great that he comes back for the finale. And then he was in The Yards and Barracuda, which I know nothing about, but those are his 5 acting credits.
Interesting. Well,
on with the show.
So Jerry invites Keith to a comedy club that he performs at on the East Side, and he plans to give him his number, and maybe they'll get some coffee sometime. And George, I don't know if George is jealous here, but he's like, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. What is his deal? I think he wants to insert that, I know what's going on, because they kind of sloughed off his point about plane crashes.
Good point.
Now, having seen this episode hundreds of times, Matt, when you go back and look at this initial encounter between Jerry and Keith, does it feel like it's a date scenario already? Or I know when Elaine kind of reveals it in the next scene. Mm-hmm. But does it feel right now, the interaction between them, like Keith's kind of asking Jerry on a date?
I don't get that vibe at all. Like, this feels very, at least to me still, like very natural. And I'm always, I actually didn't know who Keith Hernandez was before I saw this episode. Mm-hmm. I didn't mention this at the top. This is like one of the first episodes that I kind of like saw of Seinfeld that kind of brought me into the show. And yeah, I really had no idea who Keith was, and he just came off as such a like a charismatic, nice guy that you'd want to hang out with, like with Jerry, want to be friends with. But yeah, by no means did it feel like a kind of like a date,
okay,
so to speak.
Just curious. I don't know if I'm being swayed by knowing what happens in the episode, or when Keith's like, or maybe we could grab some coffee sometime. Is that him asking for a date? I don't know. That's
true. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later here. Next scene is at Monk's. Jerry's sitting with Elaine, and to answer your question, Vinny, it almost like turns into a relationship here, because I think on the surface the initial contact was just it was friendly and nice, as guys will normally talk to each other, but Jerry all of a sudden is turning into this. I don't want to get into like gender stereotypes here, but there are some like role reversals in this episode.
I was going to say he's the cliche female character in a romantic comedy who's upset because the guy has not called her, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And Elaine's like the friend. This
scene's like, 2 girls at a table kind of confiding in each other over their romantic escapades.
Right. Well, he's a little over anxious, or I'm sorry, he's a little upset because Keith hasn't called, and he doesn't want to come off as over anxious and be the one to call, which he really starts just opening up to Elaine here.
And we get a nice glimpse into another character trait of Elaine. She hates cigarettes. Mm-hmm. So what can we say about her now? She's a loose vegetarian. She eats fish occasionally. She hates people who wear fur. And then is this the third thing, that she hates cigarettes?
She's big on recycling.
Yep. But it's funny because it kind of comes out of nowhere. And I feel like whenever Larry David watches these episodes, he's like, "Oh, big setup moment."
Yeah.
You know, that they it's this big reveal that you can see a mile away.
Yeah, it's
And I'm only looking for it now because that's what Larry says. But yeah, it's gonna.
It's pretty obvious, but I think it works. Like I think they're pretty good for the most part of whenever they have to put a throwaway line in here to set up a storyline later down the road. This one works for me at least. It doesn't seem too out of the blue.
I mean, I thought he liked me. I really thought he liked me. We were getting along. He came over to me. I didn't go over to him.
I know.
Why did he come over to me if he didn't want to see me? I mean, here I meet this guy, this great guy, this
Right.
ball player.
Yeah.
Best guy I ever met in my life.
I know.
Well, that's it. I'm never giving my number out to another guy again.
You know, sometimes I've given my number out to guys, and it takes them a month to call.
Ha! Good, good. Well, if he's calling in a month, he's got a prayer.
You know, maybe he's been busy. Maybe he's been out of town.
Oh, what, they don't have phones out of town? I love how people say they're too busy. Too busy? Pick up a phone. Takes 2 minutes. How can you be too busy?
I feel like we're kind of getting into a little bit of Jerry stand-up here.
Yeah.
As this conversation evolves, and he's like, "What? They don't have phones out of town." You know, I don't know. It gets into that Jerry stand-up mode.
He's got
for
that
me.
cadence, yeah.
But God, I love this. Again, like this role reversal, or just playing with like stereotypes in relationships so much. I think Jerry, since he's sensitive in these early episodes, but to see this overly sensitive Jerry,
He's flustered by this turn of events or lack of.
it's so amusing to watch. I love it.
And Elaine just kind of, soothing him. I'm sorry, honey.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, this is just a scene that I feel like we can cherry pick lines from in our actual life.
And who are these pinheads who are taking a month to call Elaine back? What's up with that?
Well, Jerry continues to overanalyze the situation. Should he call for dinner? Is it coming off too strong? Is that like a turnoff?
Matt, he's a guy.
Well, it's all very confusing. Then we move on to a little bit of stand-up here.
When you're in your 30s, it's very hard to make a new friend. But whatever the group is that you've got now, that's who you're going with. You're not interviewing, you're not looking at any new people, you're not interested in seeing any applications. They don't know the places, they don't know the foods, they don't know the activities. If I meet a guy in a club or a gym or something, hey, look, I'm sure you're a very nice person, you seem to have a lot of potential. We're just not hiring right now. Of course, when you're a kid, you can be friends with anybody. You remember when you were a little kid, what are the qualifications? If someone's in front of my house now, that's my friend. They're my friend. That's it. Are you grown up? No? Great, come on in! Let's jump up and down on my bed. And if you have anything in common at all, you like cherry soda, I like cherry soda. We'll be best friends!
Real quick, as the stand-up ends right there, that's just ingrained on my mind so much, how he's like, we'll be best friends, and hear someone in the audience go, hey. I don't know why. Like, since I originally saw this episode, this is, again, one of those episodes I watched constantly when I first got into the show. That just sticks with me for some reason. I don't
There's
know why.
occasional moments, or at least audience laughs like that, that'll stick out. I know there's another one we'll get to coming up.
Well, are you talking about the puffy shirt?
Oh my God! Yeah.
And there's someone in the pilot at the end of season 4 who has this, I like it, but this very loud, like, kind of laugh in every scene. It's just insane. But yeah, this stand-up is wonderful. God, again, we're firing on all cylinders. Every scene, every bit of stand-up is so good this episode. This is something I relate to, at least. I've only made 1 or 2 friends over the past 5 or 6 years. One thing they all have in common is that they're all married.
I would think a single guy would want more of your time than a married guy would.
Right. But I guess, but again, this is all to say, though, I think the older you get, the harder it becomes to make friends.
Watching this stand-up, I felt like Toby, and I wanted to just yell out, yes, so true, right on. Because
right on.
Yeah.
Did she say that?
Yes. Oh. Damn does he hit the nail on the head. I agree wholeheartedly with you and Jerry in that it's so difficult to make friends once you get into your late 20s, early 30s. And, this business of, we're not hiring right now. you have potential, but they don't know the places, they don't know what movies to go see or what restaurants to go, and that's really true because you've established this kind of routine and this dynamic with the friends that you already have. So it's really hard to integrate somebody new into that role. And this, not come to think of it, they could have dropped this stand up in the pool guy episode with Ramon because Jerry has to give that long list of excuses when he's getting off the subway with Ramon. He's like, I'm sure you're a very nice person, but I just don't have any room in my life for a new friend. To which Ramon starts miming or pantomiming all these, I'm going to get you, Jerry, kind of things through the glass.
All right, let's take a short break.
Mookie Wilson and Keith Hernandez of the Mets are showing Snuffy how to hit.
That's the first thing you do. You just try to make contact. Don't try to hit the ball too hard. Keep your eyes on the ball and go straight through it. There it is.
Wow. Okay, guys. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, I think I see what you mean. Can I try now?
Yeah, just try.
All righty. Okay, Keith. Right over the old plate here.
All right, Snuff, you ready? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, dear. I missed it. I'll never hit that ball.
Snuff, sure you will. You just had your eyes closed. You gotta keep your eyes open when you try to hit.
Oh, keep my eyes open. What a great inside tip. Okay, I'm ready again. Yeah.
Okay, Snuff, you ready? I got a good feeling about this one. Come on.
All right.
All right. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I did it. I hit the ball.
Snuffy, I think you're ready for the Little Leagues.
Little League. He's ready for the Mets.
Well, there's just one problem, guys.
What's that?
What's Mr. Steinbrenner gonna say when he finds out I broke his window?
Okay, we're back.
When we return from the act break, we're at the New York State Department of Labor building.
There she is.
George is meeting with an unemployment officer. I never knew her first name. It's Lenore, Lenore Sokol, but we know her as Mrs. Sokol. He's hoping to get a 13-week extension, not just a few weeks. He's looking for about a little over 3 months here. And Mrs. Sokol asks if George has been looking for work, and this is when we get that, he's going to his excuse Rolodex. And, in addition to looking, I'm also listening for work. It's sort of a combination, looking and listening.
You could also call it an unemployment extender. Like excuse Rolodex, you also have an unemployment extender. Apparatus.
Yeah, he dips into 3 of them this episode.
Jason's killing it, though. I mean, in this scene, but throughout the whole episode, Jason is just knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, it's like I said, the Kramer-Newman storyline, I think that's usually what I gravitate to the most with this episode because it packs such a punch. But George, yeah, man, every scene he's in is just incredible throughout the whole episode.
And we get a lovely reference, callback to something that makes Seinfeld so great is another mention of Vandelay Industries.
That's right.
As being one of his excuses for, I'm very close with them, very close.
Yeah, great point. Let's actually play a clip from that.
Can you be specific about any of these companies?
Specific. Let's see. I've walked in and out of so many buildings, they all blend in together, right?
But just give me one name.
One name, absolutely. Let's see. There's Vandelay Industries. I just saw them. I got very close there. Very close.
And what type of company is that?
Latex manufacturing, Mrs. Silver.
And you interviewed there?
Yes, for a sales position. Latex salesman, the selling of latex and latex-related products. They just wouldn't give me a chance. Damn it.
Now, I'm going to need an address and a phone number for this Vandelay company.
You like gum? Because I have a friend in the gum business. I got a gum guy. I make one phone call. I have boxes of gum delivered right to your door.
The address?
The address is... Jose Jimenez. You recognize that?
No.
Jose Jimenez. Very funny. Really, he's very funny.
The address.
Vandelay is 129 West 81st Street. It's a very small industry, Vandelay. It's one of the reasons I wanted to work for
A
them.
phone number.
You know, this whole mention of Vandelay Industries, I feel like this is the most popular use of Vandelay throughout the show. Like,
Yeah.
more people think of Vandelay Industries and Latex than they do of Art Vandelay. I feel like as the alias.
Oh yeah, there's shirts and all sorts of merchandise with Vandelay Industries on it. So yes, and then it's referenced as well in the what is that? The Puerto Rican Day Parade, where they're all using their aliases.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's a
to get out
culmination.
of being in traffic.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Where's the factory?
the Saab factory.
First off, regarding this clip, I gotta say, Mrs. Sokol, played by Ray Allen, is fabulous. She is so perfect for this part. And I don't know if they were, if the casting call read, we need an authentic New York actress because damn, she is just perfect. And I looked her up on IMDb. The only things that I found that people might be of interest to know that she was in 5 episodes of The Sopranos.
Oh.
And she was in A League of Their Own, which is a very good movie. She plays Ma Keller, which is Gina Davis's mom in the movie.
Oh wow, yeah, I haven't seen A League of Their Own or Sopranos in a long time. It would be nice to revisit that and look for her because she is something else, man. Every line she has, like even the address when she's like the address, like it's
the phone number. Oh, and if you also notice, she's smoking in her office, which I thought kind of dated the show a little bit.
Really, I never noticed that. You
First
see,
scene.
she doesn't take a drag. There's just a cigarette.
No drag, but you see a lit cigarette.
Wow, that's crazy. George does say the address for Jerry's apartment, 129 West 81st Street, which I think we've heard before. Oh, yeah. Remember in...
Guess who just sold 129 West 81st Street?
Yeah.
Is this true?
In The Revenge, or the Stranded. Yeah, it's insane that they would have that kind of like error, but maybe Jerry's apartment had been established.
If we ever meet Larry, that should be the question we ask him. How could you let that in?
Come on.
Another thing I have to talk about is I realize this is a fictional show with fictional characters, and we're really going in depth here with these storylines, but George is lying about having a friend in the gum business, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
With Lloyd Braun's friend?
Is it the same friend? Do they have this mutual friend that they know in the gum business?
That actually kind of makes sense in a weird way. Since George knows Lloyd, it could be the same guy.
Some guy in Chinatown. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Huh? I wonder who it is.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know any other friends from George's childhood or adolescence.
Oh, Whitey Fisk.
Oh, there you go.
Made him up.
George does this impression of Jose Jimenez, and I never knew who this person was until I did a little YouTube search. And Jose Jimenez is this character created by comedian Bill Dana in the late 50s, early 60s, and it was on the Steve Allen show as well as Ed Sullivan show. But if you YouTube it, you can hear the voice that George is impersonating, and it's the stereotypical Mexican character, and he always has different jobs, but his most notable one is being an astronaut. And it always, like, there's an album called My Name is Jose, I think.
It sounds like really dated.
Yeah, I'm sure it would not pass by today's standards.
So it might be a little offensive, but yeah, it's a bit of history. It's funny George would do that. I wonder why he would do a...
He's being an ass this entire episode, so it makes sense.
That's true. Well, George gives Mrs. Sokol Jerry's phone number, KL58383. Great trivia question. And he finds out that she's going to call, this Vandelay Industries as soon as she's done with George. So cut to George just like coming up, rambling excuse to get out of there. And he just bolts out the door. And what do we get here? He runs to a phone booth. There's like a kid there. He just yanks the kid out, throws his backpack at him, and takes the phone.
He'll call you back.
Right. Cut to Jerry's apartment, and Kramer's chilling there. He's on the phone, as we find out, talking to Michael and Carol about his golf game, while Jerry comes out of the bedroom to get Elaine's opinion on a shirt.
That's another thing about this episode is there's so many classic references that Seinfeld fans come to know and love with the Vandelay Industries, Kramer's love for golf. Everything is kind of, like you said earlier, culminating in this episode, and it just has everything in it related to Seinfeld. There's things that have already been referenced in previous episodes that are in this episode, as well as things that will come out in future episodes. So this just has a little bit of everything.
How would you describe the shirt that Jerry is wearing?
Is it paisley?
I asked my wife this last night if it's paisley, and she doesn't think it is.
Like she knows.
But it's a weird shirt. It's I don't know.
I tell you what, you don't wear it on a first date with Keith Hernandez.
Keith?
Yep, you got me there. Damn. Keith Hernandez.
And of course, Elaine just dips back into the Jerry, he's a guy.
Well, it's a dog leg left, so I play the hook, right? Well, hold on. There's another call.
Jerry!
George?
Kramer, put Jerry on the phone.
Yeah, look, I'm in the middle of something. Call back.
Kramer, no!
So the ball takes off, and I'm waiting for it to turn.
Are you done? No, George screaming at the top of his lungs and getting cut off mid-scream. I lose it every time. I'll call you back. No!
Yeah, I mean, we're playing so many clips this episode, but that one is just one of my favorites, if only for that George. I do like the part of the beginning, though. I don't know why. This is obviously Michael just probably making up the lines as he goes. But he says, "Oh, it's a dog leg left." I don't know why that makes me laugh. I know it's a golfing term.
I would argue against that. Michael made that up because Michael says in interviews he's never played golf. He's not a golfer.
Oh, good point.
And Larry David is the one who's golfing. So that has to be Larry David putting, because you got to know what a dog leg left is and then
true.
How to hook it left or right. Sorry to burst your bubble there.
It's fine because I don't know why that just makes me laugh.
He's a good actor.
Yeah. Well, so George starts pounding on the phone in frustration when a cop shows up with a kid that George threw out of the booth, and
a very young-looking cop.
Yeah, it's funny. This got brought up on the commentary for this episode, but I felt the same way. He looks really young, like he's in his early 20s.
I seem to recall, I think Michael saying, "Oh, somebody's doing someone a favor." Did he say that?
Him?
Yes, like that was a friend of a friend. "Oh, can you get my son in here? He wants a part."
Seems about right. Well, so Kramer finishes up his phone call and tells Jerry that Mike and Carol are wondering when they're going to come to see their new baby. And here we go, the start of "You gotta see the baby," which is just another classic Seinfeld line.
Carol, played by actress Lisa Mendy, is actually in 4 episodes of Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. She's in The Boyfriend, The Hamptons, The Soulmate, and then The English Patient.
Yes. That's right.
And she's fabulous.
Right. Now but we'll get to this once we're in the scene, but her husband, Michael, he's only in this and The Hamptons, right?
No, it's a different Michael. This is Michael number 1.
But the
character Michael, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Is this the first time we're doing this?
Running on fumes here. This is also a good moment to point out how Elaine, or I should say Julia, is always positioned behind something, like behind a counter, or she's sitting down a lot. There might be a few shots when she's, standing.
She has her arms folded in front of her a lot.
Yeah, there's always something kind of obstructing her stomach. I don't think we've brought this up on this episode yet, but she, the actress Julia, is pregnant at this time. I think we first brought this up during the subway because she was getting nauseated throughout that entire episode. And here we go. This is the first run of hiding her stomach. Mm-hmm. We'll see this again, I think, in season 8, putting Elaine in a lot of
the
long,
couch cushion.
Yeah, couch cushion, long, flowy outfits.
And I recall a magazine being draped over her belly as well when she's talking about having the lobster bisque.
You're right. Yep.
Or lobster, excuse me. Oh, God.
No, I mentioned the bisque.
There we go. Thank you.
You mentioned the bisque.
Now, I got to say, the interaction between Elaine and Jerry when, Jerry's like, if I wait long enough, this kid's not going to be a baby anymore. Mm-hmm. Or Elaine says that, if you wait a few more months, it won't be a baby anymore. Then you won't have to see it. And Jerry's like, because it'll be all grown up. Yeah. And they start laughing. That's such a sweet little interaction between those two. I really cherish that.
Yeah, it's one of the best dynamics, I feel like, on the show. Whenever Jerry and Elaine can be just really good friends and nice to each other. It's not about dating and it's not about screwing one another over. It's just this, nice little connection.
They share a little giggle.
Well, Jerry asks Kramer for his opinion on the shirt, but and I love this. Kramer says, "Oh, it's too busy," which is a perfect way to describe it. And this is when he finds out that the guy that Jerry really likes, that he's going to be going out with, is none other than Keith Hernandez.
Keith Hernandez? Keith Hernandez!
We cut to a cab, and George is in the backseat, just killing the driver by making him switch from traffic lane to traffic lane, and nothing's good enough for George. He's always getting, stuck behind. Ultimately, they get stuck at a red light, and it ends with the cabbie kicking George out, actually physically being pulled out of the cab.
I feel like the scene was one of the ones that could have been cut from the episode if they had to make it into a one-part episode, but seeing George be the epitome of a backseat driver and then him coming to blows as I rain blows down upon him, coming to blows with the cabbie is fabulous. I keep saying fabulous. Why do I keep
fabulous.
saying that? Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
Well, this stuff of George sitting in the cab, which is actually really well done. We're used to, I'm thinking back to all these other episodes. I don't think we get a lot of rear projection in this show yet. Anytime someone's in a car, it's at night, and it's the typical like black background with maybe headlights and
2 lights in the background in the distance.
Mm-hmm. But this is one of the first times we're not only getting a car scene during the day, but they're physically driving. This was filmed on a small street outside of the Seinfeld production offices, and they just brought in a bunch of cars, and they were strategically placed to match like a traffic jam from the wide shots that were actually shot on location in New York.
Budget's going up. Can we talk about the cabbie played by Richard Assad?
We can.
All right. He was in Robin Hood Men in Tights. He was the assistant Saracen guard.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for him.
Okay.
He was in. Richard Lewis is in there. He was in one. Richard Assad was in one episode of Married with Children. He was in one episode of Everyone Loves Raymond. 2 episodes of Will and Grace. He was in Along Came Polly. He played the Indian waiter, and he was in Arrested Development. He was the store owner in the episode Making a Stand. Is that the one when Job opens a rival banana stand?
The one when he opens the rival stand across from Michael's
with Steve Holt.
Wow, it's been a while since we've seen it. He might have been in that. I actually remember him from Mars Attacks.
Okay, I don't know that one that well. I know that's a cult classic. That one.
Yeah, definitely. But he's good in this though. I mean, a very brief scene, but he's scary. Get out.
Yeah.
So we cut back to Jerry's apartment, and here we go. The start of one of my favorite scenes from the entire run of Seinfeld. Kramer and Newman hate Keith Hernandez. They despise him, actually, and I'll tell you why.
Let me tell it.
No, you can't tell it.
You always tell it.
All right, tell it.
Just tell it.
June 14th, 1987. Mets, Phillies were enjoying a beautiful afternoon in the right field stands when a crucial Hernandez error opens the door to a 5-run Phillies ninth, cost the Mets the game.
Our day was ruined. There was a lot of people, they're waiting by the players' parking lot. Now, we're coming down the ramp. Newman was in front of me. Hernandez was coming toward us. As he passes us, Newman turns and says, "Nice game, pretty boy." Hernandez continued past us up the ramp.
Then, a second later, something happened that changed us in a very deep and profound way from that day forward.
What was it?
He spit on us. And I screamed out, "I'm hit!"
Then I turned and the spit ricocheted off him and it hit me.
Wow. What a story.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the immutable laws of physics contradict the whole premise of your account. Allow me to reconstruct this, if I may, for Miss Bennis, as I've heard this story a number of times. Newman, Kramer, if you'll indulge me. According to your story, Hernandez passes you and starts walking up the ramp. Mm-hmm. Then you say you were struck on the right temple. The spit then proceeds to ricochet off the temple, striking Newman between the 3rd and the 4th rib. The spit then came off the rib, made a right turn, hitting Newman in the right wrist, causing him to drop his baseball cap. The spit then splashed off the wrist, pauses in midair, mind you, makes a left turn, and lands on Newman's left thigh. That is one magic loogie.
Well, that's the way it happened.
What happened to your head when you got hit?
Well, my head went back to the left.
Say that again.
Back and to the left.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
So, what are you saying?
I'm saying that the spit could not have come from behind. That there had to have been a second spitter. Behind the bushes on the gravelly road. If the spitter was behind you as you claim, that would have caused your head to pitch forward.
So the spit could have only come from the front and to the right.
But that's not what they would have you believe.
I'm leaving. Jerry's a nut.
I don't know what else can be said about this other than it's gold. Like, this scene is one of the best, right?
Yes, everything about it. The whole parody aspect, the way they adapted the Kramer and Newman scene from that day, and they made it look all grainy and exactly like the stock footage from the assassination.
Yeah, it's such a great scene. The parking lot flashbacks, the Zapruder film kind of parody, those are actually filmed in the rear section of the CBS Studio Center, which we've brought up before. That's where Elaine, when she's at the piano recital in the Pez dispenser, when she comes out from her laughing fit, they were behind that, and it was actually near the LA River. Tom Sharonis mentioned they had to put up kind of like a wire fence, and they brought in some shrubs to kind of dress it up a little bit. One of the producers, his name's escaping me at the moment, but
Tim Kaiser.
Tim Kaiser, thanks. He also mentioned how they gave the film that really kind of grainy look. When they were developing it, he actually put it on the ground and they stepped on it. They got it really dirty, so it actually had these scratches in it. And then they blew it out a little bit. They think they used some sort of like chroma or something. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it just has this. I mean, when you compare it to the Zapruder film, it's almost like identical. Like it was shot on the same day.
It really adds to the comedy. If it was just a straight flashback, it wouldn't be the same.
Mm-hmm. And this is you'll probably get more out of just listening to the clip, or actually seeing the footage. But that moment when Michael flings his head back,
I'm hit
in slow motion, and you get two angles on it, and he yells out, "I'm hit!" Oh God, I can remember. I was like probably 10 or 11. I can't remember. I remember seeing that for the first time and just dying with laughter. It was just so funny. Still is. One little bit of trivia here, too. On June 14th, 1987, the Mets are actually playing the Pirates in Pittsburgh, and the Phillies were playing the Expos in Montreal. So I don't know why they chose that date. Maybe it's not necessary to have it be accurate.
That's a prickly one.
Yes. So cue George sprinting through the door. His hair is in that classic upright position, Vinny, which I know you've brought up.
The most comical position George's hair could be in.
Yes.
That's it right now.
Completely out of breath. I guess he ran most of the way there. And he frantically explains, all right, the whole unemployment office situation. And whenever the phone rings, Jerry has to answer Vandelay Industries, which manufactures latex. And Jerry is considering hiring George as his latex salesman. And there's that great bit here where Jerry's like, oh, I'm going to hire you as my latex salesman? I don't think so. Why would I do that?
Because I asked you to.
He's so disgusted.
If you think I want somebody around here who's just going to push some papers around, you got another thing coming.
Well,
I like that.
Once again, Jerry messing with George when he doesn't need it. And
He's
never
asking
lets
for
up.
a favor. Mm-hmm.
Keith buzzes, and Jerry and Elaine head down to meet him. And next scene is in Keith's car after the big date between Keith and Jerry. Very similar.
The big date.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and keep in mind, everybody who is listening visually, keep in mind that the shot of Keith and Jerry in Keith's car right now, because that's going to come back later.
Yes, oh, very much so. But it's similar to most date nights from previous episodes. You know, it's always. Oh, this is kind of odd. Elaine is never the one driving on her dates. You know, it's always like the male in the driver's seat, and the female character, so to speak, in the passenger seat. And
I wonder if she reaches for the check. Did she even give a reach?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we also get the return of the voiceover, which we're a big fan of in this.
Oh
scene.
yeah.
Oh, that was really fun. Thanks. Yeah, it really was. Should I shake his hand? Well, hey, you want to catch a movie this weekend? Have you seen JFK? No, I haven't. This weekend? Wow. Sure, that would be great. Damn, I was too over anxious. He must have noticed that. I mean, if you want to. Well, how about this Friday? Yeah, Friday's okay. Go ahead, shake his hand. I'm Jerry Seinfeld. I've been on The Tonight Show. Well, good night. Good night.
I'm such a big fan of insecure inner monologue Jerry. We don't get it a lot, if ever, but I really do enjoy when he's unsure of himself and he's thinking in his head.
Cue the line that we quote even in person a lot. Damn, I was too over anxious. You must have noticed that. Yeah, Jerry's just killing it this scene, with whether it's the voiceover, even in person, where he's like, sure, that would be great.
Yeah. And I really enjoy how they equate the handshake between friends as the equivalent of the kiss goodnight between two people on a date.
Yeah, which I don't think I've ever thought about. Have you?
No, I haven't.
No, never. I mean, I've been in the situation where you're getting to know, not a guy, but someone, a friend, like a possible new friend, and you're kind of feeling it out. You're kind of formal with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I could imagine shaking your hand, but it wouldn't be awkward at all. You know what I mean?
No.
Whereas the people I don't know as well, I'm definitely a little more self-conscious about how I come off and how I say goodbye, whatnot. Did you notice Keith's jacket in this scene?
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Is he going to Aspen in that thing? It's got these borders of not fur, but this fluffy material.
Mm-hmm. It's like a light, fluffy, fuzzy lapel.
It's all white. It's like a discoloration.
But it's the rest of the jacket is kind of like a light brown. I don't know if
like
it's leather.
Like a suede, or leather. He looks like he should be mounted atop a steed in that thing. But I don't know if that was his or was that from wardrobe.
It's kind of got a bit of like a pimp quality to it, like something that was left over from the late 70s, early 80s. But it looks great.
It's a tad flashy.
Well, before Jerry leaves, Keith asks about Elaine, who they gave a ride to earlier, and wonders if Jerry is all right if he gives her a call. And at this moment, Jerry's, of course, a little taken aback. You really don't get a response from him. But obviously, the relationship is getting a little complicated here.
All right, let's take a short break.
It was a day that changed our lives.
I saw a flash of light in the bushes, and that last shot.
An act that shocked a nation.
The smoke came from behind the hedge.
A moment when time stood still.
It seemed like people weren't even breathing, like you were looking at a picture.
For one man, it became an obsession with truth.
You're the DA in New Orleans. Don't you think the Kennedy assassination's a little bit out of your domain?
A commitment to justice.
Nobody's gonna tell me that kid did the shooting job he did from that damn bookstore.
A sacrifice of everything he had.
I think you care more about John Kennedy than your own family.
For everything he believed.
Nothing is gonna keep me from going ahead with my investigation of John Kennedy's murder.
They tried to stop him from asking who.
If I give you the name of the big enchilada, you know. Do I have to spell it out for you, Mr. Garrison? Then it's Bon Voyage Dino.
They tried to keep him from asking why.
That's the real question, isn't it? Why?
The government's gonna jump all over your head, Jimbo.
Why was Kennedy killed?
Are the same people that kill us, Pop?
Nobody's gonna kill us.
Who benefited?
You have any idea what you're getting yourself into, Daddy-O?
Who has the power to cover it up?
Warner Brothers presents Kevin Costner
Now we're through the looking glass here, people.
in an Oliver Stone film.
White is black, and black is white.
People got to know.
I'm a dead man! I say let justice be done though the heavens fall.
Okay, we're back.
We return from our second act break of the episode. We're in Jerry's apartment, and Jerry's telling George about his dinner date with Keith and how they split the bill, how he's waiting to talk about Game 6. It's not quite time yet. Keith took Jerry home and how he shook his hand. It's a single pump, not too hard, and asked him to hang out on Friday night.
But George inquires about the handshake as if in a typical situation, a guy inquires about how's the kiss goodnight or what was it like?
Yeah.
Or how's the sex?
That's more like George's vibe here, right?
Yeah, you're right.
He's kind of like, give me the details. I like his response when Jerry tells him that they're going to hang out on Friday. And he's like, wow, the weekend.
Yeah, it must have been a good date.
Definitely. But before Jerry can tell George about Keith asking out Elaine, she enters.
Hi.
All right.
So how was your date?
Date. He's a guy.
So that means he called her that night or the next day?
Yeah, so if this is the next day, yeah, I mean, he really gets around, right?
Thank you, George.
As we'll find out from this clip.
So, he called me.
Already?
Keith called you? This guy really gets around.
Do you mind?
No, I don't mind at all. Why should I mind? What do you say?
He asked me out for Saturday night.
Oh, you going?
No, I told him I was busy.
Ah, really?
So we're going out Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
He's going out with you on Friday?
Yeah?
He's supposed to see me on Friday.
Oh, I didn't know.
We made plans.
Well, I'll cancel it.
No, don't cancel it.
Well, this is a little awkward, isn't it?
Well, frankly, it is.
I've never seen you jealous before.
Well, you're not even a fan. I was at Game 6. You didn't even watch it.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. Are you jealous of him or are you jealous of me?
Any Hennigans around here?
First of all, George has such a nice reaction to the reveal when he goes to the fridge and Elaine lets it be known that, Keith asked her out for Saturday. She said no, so they're going out Friday. George will close the door and then kind of do this pan and scan because he's in on the joke along with the audience.
Yeah.
And he sees Jerry and then he surveys the situation, then he kind of recedes into the night, if you know what I mean, and gets out of there. But it's a nice little moment.
Yeah, really good blocking there, which I doubt that was in the script. That seems like something they came up with on set.
Mm-hmm. And then additionally, Jerry is clearly jealous of Elaine and not Keith. But Elaine seems to take a little bit of satisfaction in thinking that Jerry is jealous of Keith.
Yes.
Going out with Elaine. Mm-hmm. But when she finds out it's quite the contrary, she gets a little pissed.
Yeah.
And Jerry digs himself this hole, and we get another wonderful reference to a fictitious Seinfeld prop, Hennigan's.
Hennigan's, yeah. Which is weird. I remember the first time I saw this, I hadn't seen the red dot, and I had no idea what he was talking about. Any Hennigan's around here?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love those little callbacks. Well, the phone rings, and George is relieved to hear Jerry answer. Vandalay Industries. What's his alias again?
Kel Varnson speaking. And George gives like a nice fist pump, like, yes.
Well, he's a little confused, right, when he hears Kel Varnson. He's like, huh, where did this come from? And it is kind of weird. This is Jerry's, I would say, only alias. Oh, there's Slappy White, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Kel Varnson is the only one he uses on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where this came from.
I don't know where the Varnson came from, but I know Kel is Jerry's father's name.
Ah.
Kel Seinfeld.
Kel Seinfeld, yeah. It works, and it also, as you mentioned, comes back later in the Puerto Rican day. I think that's the only other time Jerry uses it. Well, the guy on the phone turns out to be Keith, and so, George heads to the bathroom. Keith has to cancel his Friday night with Jerry and says, hey, we'll hang out next week instead. Jerry gives Elaine a little bit of attitude, but it's cute. Kramer enters.
No, when he goes, what are you doing? Nothing, now.
Well, that's when Kramer enters, right? He's like, hey, what are you doing Friday?
Yeah.
He asks Jerry if he wants to come with him to see Mike and Carol's baby on Friday.
Fasten your seatbelts. We're going to see the baby.
Which is great. Obviously, this is an hour-long episode when you start it, but this definitely feels like we're shifting into like another stage of the storyline here. This is really the halfway point, but you can just feel things shifting a little bit.
And of course, who is the one person who's going to screw up George's unemployment scheme?
Yellow. What delay industries?
No! Vandalay! Say Vandalay!
Now you're way off. Well, yeah, that's the right number, but this is an apartment.
No,
What?
Vandalay! Say Vandalay Industries!
Yeah, no problem. How did you know who they wanted?
And you want to be my latex salesman.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you see that physical comedy? Wasn't that beautifully shot, everyone?
It's kind of tough to say what is the best scene from this episode, but it's just so hard. Like,
it's so memorable. Each scene, there's all these memorable moments.
Yeah, that moment when you realize it's the unemployment office. Like, still to this day, I tense up a little bit just knowing that George is getting screwed over. And he just starts screaming, "Say Vandalay, say Vandalay."
And what was he doing in that office back there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Notice his shirt wasn't off?
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, that must have been something that George got into as the show went on to just take that shirt off. Probably the most interesting bit of trivia from this entire scene is that Jerry actually ad-libbed that classic line, "And you want to be my latex salesman." That was something he came up with on the spot. And just one of those things where you couldn't, obviously no one wrote it for him, but sometimes you can't really plan for the funniest material. It just has to kind of come out organically. And I don't know how they would have handled this scene originally if they would have just kind of faded out on that,
They could have.
Yeah,
the over the top shot of George lying there on the floor, that they could have ended on that.
Yeah.
But this, as Jason says, this is the capper.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And I'm looking back to when I first saw this episode. I saw it in syndication, obviously, and I don't know if they split the show into two parts, like if they did a part 1 or a part 2, but I seem to recall that this was the halfway mark, or like a commercial break. In our version on the DVD, they kind of go right into the unemployment office again. But I recall the shot like lasting a little bit longer, and you see Michael stand up.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's on maybe it's on a clip show instead. I'll try to check out my my DVDs, but I seem to recall I always remember thinking that's so weird that they held that shot of Michael kind of breaking character and standing up, because he looks sort of off camera to it looks like one of the producers or crew members. Next scene at the unemployment office, it's pretty apparent that George lied, but he's sticking with the lie.
That's lie 1, right? The
Yes.
first lie's out of the bag.
Yes, that's his first. He kind of has like a trilogy
of lies.
Yeah, trilogy of lies. 3. That was plan A. Now he's on to plan B, or will be here. He's claiming that the guy who interviewed him at Vandalay Industries was obviously the one on the phone, and he was very threatened with him, or by him. Mrs. Sokol needs George's signature, I guess. This is probably terminating George's unemployment insurance, something he's not wanting to do. And here he goes for another desperate move. His plan B, he sees a young woman's photo on the desk.
Which is a wonderful photo, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I want to see if I can get a nice screen grab of that. And
I'd like to have a photo of that in a frame, a la some of the other photos you've given me over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Who is this?
It's my daughter.
This is your daughter? My God! My God! I hope you don't mind my saying, she is breathtaking.
You think so?
Would you take this picture away from me? Just take it away and get it out of here. Take it away and put it away. Let me just sign this and go.
You know, she doesn't even have a boyfriend.
Okay. Okay. Who do you think you're talking to? What are you trying to make a joke, Mrs. Sokol? Because it's not funny, I can tell you that.
I'm serious, she doesn't.
You know, it's one thing to not give me the extension, but to tease and to torture me like this, there's no call for that.
Would you like her phone number?
Mrs. Sokol, I don't know what to say. Where should I sign this thing?
No. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Now, Matt, do you happen to recall the adjective George used to describe Miss Sokol's daughter?
Oh, you mean breathtaking?
That's the one. I never picked up on that until going through this episode, how that word just happened to come out of his mouth. Then
Yes. And now it comes back again in the Hamptons, right?
Perfect.
Yes. With, again, Carol's ugly baby. That's the term the doctor uses to describe not only the ugly baby, but Elaine as well.
And you, as you said earlier, there are certain instances in the Seinfeld history when there's a great joke or something's a brewing, and you hear the audience kind of be turned on. They're like, they know what's going on with the joke. When George says, "Take it away, get it out of here. Let me just sign this and I'll go," you can hear members of the audience go, "Oh," and they're wise to what he's doing, and they almost, it's like a judgmental groan from some of the audience members.
Yeah, they sound disgusted, because they know, how full of shit he is, and they're like, come on.
But nice moment.
Oh yeah, this is such a great moment, and I can't believe it works. George is, never underestimate, what a great liar he is, or able just to pull himself out of these situations, because he's literally inches away from signing this document. And he's able to just look at the items on a desk. He's almost like the MacGyver of liars. He can just pick a random item and use that to...
Got a paperclip, some gum. Yeah. Some gum.
And we cut to even more stand-up for the episode.
Unemployment, it's a tough thing. Even if you get a job after you've been unemployed, they take unemployment out of your check every week and show it to you in that little box. How good can it be for your confidence that every paycheck you get has the word unemployment on it? You can't get it out of your mind. You just got the job. They're already getting ready for you to be laid off. I have a friend who's unemployed. He's collecting unemployment insurance. This guy has never worked this hard in his life to keep this thing going. He's down there every week waiting on the lines and getting interviewed and making up all these lies about looking for jobs. If they had any idea the effort and energy that he is expending to avoid work, I'm sure they'd give him a raise. I'm sure. The guy is doing a tremendous job not working.
These hour-long episodes are great because you get even more stand-up than normal.
Yeah, this is the only... I think this is the only hour-long episode we get during these early days when there was a lot of stand-up. Because as the series goes on, it's just the opening is stand-up.
Hence, because we needed all this extra time for storyline, there was no time to either write it or shoot it. So yeah, if you like stand-up, you get a lot in this episode. And the thing I love about this one in particular, the subject of unemployment, I love the fact that Jerry is talking about George, his friend, the guy we know. He's talking about his friend George in the stand-up.
Yeah.
And it's a great piece of stand-up. And I kind of wish Jerry would have done this earlier or even later in the series, where he talked about somebody he knows in his, in the character Jerry's life, and that we, the audience member, know. Like he could have talked about Newman in one of his bits, or talked about, like dating Elaine and a story about it, but not referencing her. But we know what's going on, so it would have kind of added a little bit more realism. I don't know. It would have been a nice
not legitimacy, but it ties the two worlds, because at times it feels like stand up and the show as we know it are two separate sort of worlds.
Yeah, and I can't think of another instance where he talks about another character in his stand up.
This is sort of what you're talking about, but I forget the name of the episode. Remember when Jerry does the stand up about like Uncle Leo accusing everyone of being an anti-Semite?
Oh, when he goes on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, and Leo sees it, but that's sort of a different scenario.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, it's like in the universe, or it's on the show, Jerry doing stand-up. So, but that's it, where he is talking about a character we know.
Mm-hmm. Good get.
But I do love this thing about unemployment, and it's so perfectly Jerry. Like, this guy works so hard, to stay on unemployment. They should give him a raise.
If they knew how hard, yep.
So our next scene is at Fitzpatrick's. So Elaine is sitting with Keith at the bar, and they're surrounded by all the patrons, asking about Game 6. And I love it when, he kind of sets it up, and she just grabs him, and she's like, ah!
Yeah, great reaction.
Here's an interesting bit of trivia. I don't know if you knew this, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus was actually at that game. Game 6 in real life.
What was she doing there?
Well, a friend of her father's had season tickets. They went. She didn't really follow baseball at the time, but when they filmed this scene, talking about Game 6 and Keith Hernandez, she totally understood what he was talking about, which is pretty cool, right?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Also, one thing I wanted to bring up, on the DVD set that Vinny and I have, and you can all buy on Amazon, wherever, there are commentary tracks sometimes for certain episodes, and this episode has a great commentary track with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Jason Alexander, and Michael Richards. And Jason asks Julia at one point, "Wow, you were really flirty with Keith in this episode. Did you have a crush on him?" And she denies it. She's like, "No, I didn't have a crush." But she does say that she had a crush. She only says the guy from Jag. I'm like, oh, that's random. She watches the show Jag. But no, he played Carl, the moving guy, in The Couch. The guy that his stance on abortion is pro-life, and Elaine has to break up with him.
David James Elliott.
There you go. So that was apparently the only, or at least the one guest star that Elaine, or Julia, admits that she had a crush on.
And it's funny, the one guy she had a crush on, she ends up having this huge disagreement over abortion.
Well, you saw him, you saw her cry, right? When she hears that.
That's true. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. So we're at Mike and Carol's apartment, and great shot.
Awesome.
From within the crib.
Yep. They used that same shot in a Friends episode when I think Ross has his baby.
Oh, really? You
see all 6 of the friends
looking
over
down.
top of the baby.
Yeah. Comes back again, of course, I think of the toilet bowl, the toothbrush in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, you're right.
But they're looking down at the baby in her crib, and I don't know whose genes it is, if it's Mike or Carol's, but this couple is known for having unattractive children.
Mm-hmm. Too much chlorine in the gene pool.
Yeah, Kramer says that this baby looks like Lyndon Johnson, which does Jerry agree? Like, he does a double take.
Yeah.
And I think he's like,
I'm not kidding. He really does look like Lyndon Johnson.
But I think this baby is really cute, actually.
That's true. We actually see the baby, don't we?
We do. And it's
that's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have done that. If they're gonna, it's like Farfel. They're gonna play up how ugly this baby is.
Right.
You shouldn't be seeing the baby, because now I didn't even realize that until you just said that.
Well, it is interesting because it ties into the ugly baby theme in the Hamptons. In that episode, we never see the baby.
Yeah.
So they obviously, probably take a better direction in that one. But where is this baby in the Hamptons?
Because it's got to be grown by now, because this is a couple years later.
Yeah.
Do they have a second baby?
2 years. They have, I don't know this baby's name.
Adam's
the Hamptons one. Jerry and Elena here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, there's this moment here where Carol isn't, I don't know, she doesn't have the most soothing voice. She orders Michael to go get the camera.
Let's take a picture. Michael, get the camera.
You don't have to take a picture.
I don't know where it is.
It's in the bottom drawer of our dresser. Hurry up! He's such an idiot.
To which I use one of Jerry's quotes. Yeah, I'm getting married real soon.
Yeah, of course.
We mentioned earlier, Carol is played by actress Lisa Mendy. She was in the 4 episodes of Seinfeld. She was also in an episode of Sex and the City. She was in the Tim Robbins, Martin Lawrence movie, Nothing to Lose. She's in Gremlins 2. She plays a laboratory technician.
I'm trying to think back to that because I know Gremlins 2 really well.
I know you do. Yeah, you know that one well. And then Michael number 1 is played by actor Stephen Pruding. Mm-hmm. He was in Tootsie. He was in an episode of Roseanne. And his last acting credit was Jake and the Fat Man in 1992.
Damn it.
So he goes from Seinfeld to Jake and the Fat Man, then he retires. That's a pretty good way to go out.
Oh, definitely. Well, I like him. He's a little different than the Michael we'll come to see in the Hamptons. He's, as we mentioned, more like, I don't want to say subservient, but obviously Carol is sort of the dominant one in this relationship. Whereas in the Hamptons, I kind of get the vibe that Michael and Carol are on equal footing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're
that Michael has a little more backbone than this Michael.
Yes, this one is a little... He scampers off.
He does do a scamper.
Now, before we leave this scene, I've had a moment here wrong for years, decades even. There's this moment at the end when Carol asks Jerry, you want to pick up the baby, right? You want to pick her up?
I better not.
And Kramer says he will. And you hear this off-camera scream. Now, how did you interpret that scream?
I always hear Jason Alexander screaming. And I always thought, why are they putting that in there? Because then it cuts to George and Carrie in the car. So I interpret it as an inner monologue of George being distraught over being in the car with this woman.
Yeah, it's sort of like this experimental transition. Not saying like it's literally the baby, but it's like just this, I don't know, it's just this weird higher level sort of joke.
It doesn't belong though.
Yeah. Apparently, it's not coming from George or the baby, but it's supposed to be coming from Michael, who was screaming at the idea of Kramer holding the baby. And if
Michael the husband?
Yeah, Michael the husband. I'm sorry, not Michael the actor. Michael the husband, who's left the room. And if you look, kind of like in the background, right when Kramer's like, I'll pick her up, and he reaches down, you see a shadow in the background moving. And my thought on the matter is that Michael is about to like run back into the room.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, they just play the audio track saying no. But it does sound like Jason Alexander, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, maybe we'll throw it to our listeners, like what they think. But this information that it's supposed to be coming from Michael came from the DVDs. So
swing and a miss.
Yeah, I don't know where they got their sources from. Maybe it's in the screenplay. Maybe it's a joke that we're missing. But yeah, I always thought it was Jason as well. So next scene is in George's car, and we get a wonderful scene here between George and Mrs. Sokol's daughter, Carrie, as we mentioned. They're outside of her apartment after their dinner date at McDonald's.
I haven't had a Big Mac in a long time.
Would you like to come up?
Would I like to come up? I would love to come up. I'm fighting not to. Fighting. Unfortunately, I have to get an early start tomorrow. Gotta get up and hit that pavement.
But it's Saturday. All the offices are closed.
I got me an appointment with a hardware store. I'm not saying I want to do it for the rest of my life, but hardware fascinates me. Wouldn't you love to make a key?
Will you call me as soon as you get home?
Tonight?
Yes.
Well, I call you when I get home. What do you think? You kill me. You really kill me.
Well, good night.
Again, wonderful casting. Carrie Sokol's played by actress Carol Ann Susie, who just recently passed away at the end of 2014. But again, she's another one who hits a home run. And I totally buy her and Mrs. Sokol being related.
Oh, yeah. It's perfect.
They're perfect for each other. But Carrie Ann Susie, she all over TV. She's been in Mad About You, Married with Children, 6 Feet Under, Drew Carey Show, King of Queens, Grey's Anatomy, That 70s Show, Ugly Betty. And most recently, she played Howard Wolowitz's mom, the voice of the mother who was always seen off screen in The Big Bang Theory. She was in 39 episodes.
Nice. Also, to note, the character Carrie was originally called Phyllis in the early drafts of the script, which I like. Phyllis, there's something about that. It's a little, I don't want to say it's dated at this point, but it just seems a little...
It's not as common in today to hear a girl named Phyllis.
Right, and there's just something with, her mom, is it Lorraine?
Lenore.
It just, I don't know, it fits to me a little bit better than Carrie, but what the hell?
Oh, really?
To me, at least, but Carrie works.
Oh, I'm on Team Carrie.
Well, the next scene, we're back to Michael and Carol's apartment. I guess at some point, Kramer dropped the baby, and Carol is just walking around the bedroom trying to get her to stop crying, and...
Michael's chasing her with that
Kramer's
toy.
Carrying her, chasing her. It's so hard with this, right? You're Michael, Kramer. Baby. God, Vinny, we're at our fourth bit of stand-up here.
I think this was a show about a comedian or something.
My friend's got a baby. Gotta see the baby. You've got to come over and see the baby. Nobody ever wants you to come over and see their grandfather, do they? You've got to see my grandfather. You got to see him. He's so cute. 168 pounds, 4 ounces. I love him when they're this age. He's 1,000 months. The mid-'80s is such a good time for the grand people. The mid-'80s, you got to see him. He went to the bathroom by himself today. What's tough about seeing people when they have a baby is that you have to match their level of enthusiasm. You know what I mean? They're always so excited. What do you think of him? What do you think? Just once, I would like to meet a couple that goes, we're not that happy with him, frankly. I think we really made a big mistake. We should have got an aquarium. You want him? We don't even want him. You want him?
So, well, here you go. Here's another moment when Jerry is talking about a character on the show in his stand-up. So...
Who, the baby?
The Carol. I have a friend who's got a baby. Again, we've brought up on the show how it's obvious when Jerry has written material, based on an episode, and maybe he does here. The unemployment routine here with You Gotta See the Baby, but I think they're great. Like all the stand-up is good, and it's long. It's got a lot of meat on it. Again, probably because they're trying to fill an hour-long episode, but...
Yeah, and the whole thing with the grandfather and the, how much he weighs, like when a baby's born, he's, 8 pounds, 6 ounces. Oh, he's 168 pounds, 4 ounces, and then he's 1,000 months, which actually works out to 83 years. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's he went to the bathroom by himself today.
It kind of reminds me...
I know where you're going. You go. I want to see how smart you are.
Not that smart, but the birthday aspect, right? Like whether you're a baby or you're an old person, it's very similar. You're confused. You can't blow out your candles. You're surrounded by...
These are my friends.
Yeah, all these people you don't know.
Every day is my birthday.
Next scene is in Keith's car. Again, very similar, Vinny, as you mentioned, to the Jerry date night.
Same shot, different players, but now we get to peer into Keith's mind and hear his inner voice.
Which makes me wonder if did he have any kind of like inner monologue during the Jerry scene? Do you think he was interpreting the scenario like Jerry was?
I don't think so.
Nah. Oh, poor Jerry.
I know.
This apparently is one of the scenes, we didn't mention the bar scene earlier, but this is another scene that Larry David added when they found out they had an hour-long episode. But they had a really good time together. And like Jerry's scene, the voiceover returns with, both of them wondering when they should kiss.
And man, if you watch the scene, the actors, both Julia and Keith, are so emotive in their facial expressions about this awkwardness of, do I lean in for a kiss? It's really good.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's not like Keith should transition into acting by any means, but he's a very charismatic. He's not completely wooden. He's like, I don't know, he's stiff enough to know this is an athlete, this isn't an actor, but it's not as stale as sort of like, hey, guest star of the week, you know?
Go ahead, kiss her. I'm a baseball player, damn it.
What's he waiting for? I thought he was a cool guy.
Come on, I won the MVP in '79. I can do whatever I want to.
This is getting awkward.
Well, good night.
Good night. Who does this guy think he is?
I'm Keith Hernandez.
Just Elaine asking the question in her mind, who does this guy think he is? And then, so their inner voices kind of sync up.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
The next scene is at Jerry's apartment. I guess this is the next day. Elaine is telling Jerry all about her date. And I really feel bad for him because, like, he obviously, I don't know, he cares about Keith more in a different way.
He's got more invested in a way.
Yeah.
He's known him longer. He cares about all the accolades that he's accomplished. And he really wants to be friends with him in a
non-sexual.
Thank you. But yeah, of course, Elaine shaking that little boom boom of hers. I'm sorry. Get that out.
I'll leave that in. She mentions how Mookie was there. Who's Mookie again?
He was on the Mets. I don't know what position he played, but he's the one who got the hit. He's the one who got the hit in Game 6.
Right.
He hit the ball that went through Billy Buckner's legs.
Right. And Elaine just sort of like, I think he was there, and Jerry's just like, oh my God.
and she's like, you should meet him. He's such a great guy,
It's kind of mean in a sense. Like, Elaine really isn't considering Jerry's feelings. Maybe she just doesn't understand how Jerry feels, really. Mm-hmm. Because Jerry wants to know more about the date. Did they have
milk?
No.
Cookies?
Such a weird joke there, I always found.
Code for something else?
I mean, yeah, it could be whatever you want it to be.
Furthermore, Jerry says, did he kiss you goodnight? He doesn't want to dance around the obvious anymore. And
she says it's between a peck and a makeout.
No, but first Elaine says, I don't know. So nonchalantly.
But then she wants to know, are you jealous of her or are you jealous of him? And we get that just great Jerry delivery. I'm jealous of everybody.
Throwing the hands up in the air.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kiss was between a kiss and a makeout. So I guess according to Jerry's spectrum, kiss, peck. Mm-hmm. No, peck, kiss, long makeout. She says between a peck and a makeout. So it encompasses the entire spectrum. And judging by how hot and heavy it was getting in that car, I would say it was more along the lines of a long makeout.
Yeah, for sure. So the phone rings.
Hello? Oh, hi. What's happening? What? Oh, sure. Yeah, okay. Then, I'll see you then. Yeah, okay. Bye.
Who is that?
That was Keith.
What's going on?
He wants me to help him move.
Help him move? Move what?
Furniture.
So, what did you say?
I said yes, but I don't feel right about it. I mean, I hardly know the guy. That's a big step in a male relationship. The biggest. That's like going all the way.
And you feel you're not really ready for...
Well, we went out one time. Don't you think that's coming on a little too strong? Hey. What's going on? Keith Hernandez just asked me to help him move.
What? Well, you hardly know the guy.
What a nerve.
You see? Wasn't I right about this guy? Didn't I tell you? Oh, you're not gonna do it, are you?
I said yes.
You said yes! Don't you have any pride or self-respect? I mean, how can you prostitute yourself like this?
I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna start driving him to the airport?
I'm not driving him to the airport. Oh, boy, I don't... Hey, Kramer, do me a favor, would you?
What?
Don't mention it to anybody.
I wish you never mentioned it to me.
It's so funny. We're watching these scenes. They really found like an amazing way to stretch the story into an hour, because I feel like in a way you could rewrite this episode and condense it to just a 22-minute. Like, it's possible. There's enough story there to give you it, but you really are missing out on a lot of these great moments, especially like Kramer's entrance here.
Yes.
I don't know if you'd include that in a half-hour version.
I guess if you were strapped for time, you're right.
But it's so good. I love it. I love that misinterpretation, or not misinterpretation, but the idea that driving someone to the airport is like going all the way.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Now, Matt, I want to ask you, is driving someone to the airport greater in magnitude than helping someone move along the Seinfeld spectrum?
I would think helping someone move is bigger because
that's what I thought.
It takes more time.
You're sweating.
Yeah, it's physical.
There's a lot of grunting going on. That's more like sex, right?
Didn't think of it that way.
I'm doing bits over here. And another thing that kind of came to mind was, at the end of the scene, Jerry says, "Kramer, do me a favor. Don't mention it to anybody." And Kramer responds with, "I wish you never mentioned it to me." Does that seem at all similar to when Jerry shaved his chest? And Kramer's like, "You better not mention this to anybody,"
That's very similar. Yeah, good point. Or anytime, I love when Kramer, it's just, Elaine's here, but when it's just Kramer and Jerry talking about, making a big deal out of nothing. This is a good example. Remember with marriages, they're prisons, man.
How was your day today? Did you have a good day today? Yeah, exactly.
Also, the rabid anti-dentite.
That's right.
Yeah, really good stuff here.
All right, let's take a short break.
Take me out to the ball game. All right, are you ready, Mr. Hernandez?
Ready to go, Count.
Okay, batter up, play ball. I count them ready. Pitch it to me, Mookie Wilson, baby. Strike one.
Count, most important. Wait till Mookie throws the ball before you swing.
Oh, yes, thank you, Keith. I will try to keep that in mind. Okay, pitch to me, Mr. Mookie. Strike two.
Count, remember what I said. You forgot. Wait till Mookie throws the ball before you swing.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Very sorry. Let's try it again. Okay, Mookie, toss me that old pill. Strike three.
Count, how do you expect to hit the baseball if you swing before Mookie throws it?
Hit the ball? Why would I want to hit a poor little defenseless ball? What I want to do is count the swings and the strikes. Strike four. Strike five. Strike six. Strike seven. What a great game. Strike eight. Strike nine. Strike 10. Yes, baseball. What a wonderful game.
Count. Tell me, where did you learn to play ball?
Oh, I used to play it when I was a little nipper in the old country. Of course, then we used to play with real bats.
Okay, we're back.
We cut to George's car, and this is, I guess, date number 2, somewhere else down the line. George is again dropping off Carrie, and he's again keeping this very cheerful attitude. He's keeping up this persona because his unemployment insurance is on the line, but she's not having it.
I would actually argue that George's tune has changed because if you look back to the previous scene with him and Carrie, he's kind of begrudgingly going through the date. He's like, will I call you? Will you call me? Will I call you? I'm fighting myself not to. He's just struggling through the date, making up lies about the hardware store. But now he's kind of preemptively telling her, "I had a great time, Carrie, and I will call you as soon as I get home." Now, Carrie is the one she's had it with him.
He's Biff Loman. You know what I mean? Like, he's got no prospects, nothing on the horizon. I guess that's what she's looking for.
Well, I wonder if George was just such an ass on the date that was what turned her off, or was it that she says, "You think I'm going to spend my life with somebody because he can get me a deal on a box of nails?" So is the occupation that important to her? Because if so, then she's just as big an ass as George is, and then they deserve each other.
I have a good friend out here who actually works. He runs a hardware store, and I should run this. I should run this by him.
Can you get a discount
on a box of nails?
Yeah, call him for a drill bit.
So this George storyline actually originally ended with him actually stuck in the relationship with Carrie, which I thought was interesting. Would you have preferred to see that?
Well, I think it makes for funnier television that she ends up rejecting him when he was clearly repulsed by her or using her from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he ends up trying to, salvage this relationship, probably for his own gain of keeping unemployment, but she's the one who ends up rejecting him.
Yeah, it's always, I am breaking up with you.
I just thought of that.
I've been thinking about it. You got no job, you got no prospects. You're like Biff Loman.
I went to the hardware store interview.
You think I'm gonna spend my life with somebody because he can get me a deal on a box of nails?
I thought we were a team.
If I ever need a drill bit, I'll call you.
Carrie, could you do me a favor? Could you not mention this to your mother?
Next scene is at Fitzpatrick's, once again, the bar that I guess Keith and Elaine frequent. They're on another date, and they're really hitting it off. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Well, so what? I mean, you played first base. I mean, they always put the worst player at first base. That's where they put me, and I stunk.
Elaine, you don't know the first thing about first base.
Oh, well, I know something about getting to first base. And I know you'll never be there.
The way I figure it, I've already been there. And I plan on rounding second tonight at around 11 o'clock.
Well, I'd watch the third base coach if I were you, because I don't think he's waving you in.
A lot of sports analogies mixed with sex and dating here.
Oh, yeah. I love Elaine having the upper hand in a relationship.
Flirty Elaine is the best.
Well, flirty, but like she's so much.
She's confident, and you're like you said, she does have a little bit more hand, in that she's like, I'd watch the third base coach if I were you. You know, she's kind of dictating the pace, even though he's trying to be. He's like waving his bravado around.
She's just in control of the situation and setting, as you mentioned, like the pace, the rhythm here, and she's funny at that. You know what I mean? Like she's kind of like able to. Again, dig into a guy's like ego a little bit.
Yeah, she's choosing her moments at like we said, setting the pace and kind of pulling on the reins a little bit when he's getting a little bit too. I'm rounding second base at around 11 o'clock, and she comes right back with it, being very charming and witty. But then she kind of goes back to sweet mode, where she's like, "I think we're really hitting it off. Get it?"
Well, Keith takes out a cigarette at this point, which.
What are you doing?
I'm smoking. Surprises Elaine.
And you smoke? Sorry.
The gears start churning in her head. Very similar to when Keith asked Jerry if he could ask her out. You know what I mean? These characters are like, ooh, what's going on here?
We mentioned the scene from, what is it, The Pie? With Elaine and David Michael Elliott from JAG.
Oh, The Couch.
The Couch, excuse me. But she had that same kind of realization where, this relationship's not going to work because we disagree at such a important, belief that she shares, whether it be abortion or dating somebody who smokes.
Right.
Because this is that moment where she realizes, I can't be with this guy.
Yeah, if he's a smoker, right?
Yeah.
Next scene is at Monk's. Jerry and George are sitting down for lunch, and Jerry's sort of coming to terms, with Elaine liking Keith, and he can relate because he's kind of being mature here. He's a great ball player. He MVP 1979, and he seems to be kind of content, I guess.
I think he's accepted the fact that Elaine and Keith are dating, for one.
Yeah.
But then he kind of shares the same outlook that George had in the beginning of the episode, where George is like, "You're Jerry Seinfeld. You're making wisecracks in some club. He's Keith Hernandez." And now Jerry is saying that same bit of dialogue.
Right.
And that he's like, "Why would he befriend me?" kind of thing.
Well, he also points out that Elaine and Keith are like one of those brother and sister couples that look alike. And George hates those couples. I hate those couples too. Are you the same way?
I think they're very cute, but I share George's pain in that regard. They're so perfect for each other that they resemble each other.
I don't know.
What's wrong with that?
I don't like other people's happiness.
What's wrong with that?
Well, George also mentions, he could never be in one of those couples, as you were hinting at, Vinny, because there are no bald women around.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't entirely true, right? We do see a bald woman at some point in the show.
True. I want to ask you a question. Jerry says, the next line out of Jerry's mouth is, I know this sounds a little arrogant, but I never thought she would find anyone she would like better than me, I guess I had my chance, and that's that. As soon as he said that, I thought, oh, Matt's not going to like this line, because Jerry's admitting this vulnerability, and he's got a lot of remorse for things not working out with Elaine. And in a show with the no lugging, no no hugging, no learning, Jerry really lets his guard down here. Now, Matt, what's your comment on that?
I thought it was great. It took me off guard actually, because we haven't really seen much of that. Yeah, that no hugging, no learning mentality. That it wasn't necessary. It's not what the episode's about, really, right? Because isn't he wants to be with Keith, not Elaine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it was a really nice moment. It was light and it was a throwaway comment, and
it's real too. You won't see Jerry act like this in the later seasons.
No, not at all.
And this was not, because again, I like the early Seinfeld because it's grounded in reality so much.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny, Vinny. Even though I never cared for the earlier seasons, when we first met and we talked about our love of Seinfeld, I'm really coming to love these early episodes a lot more than I ever have before. So George changes the subject and admits that he'd really like to have sex with a tall woman. Just throwing that in there.
All right.
See, this is all I think about, sleeping with a giant. It's my life's ambition.
So I guess it's fair to say you've set different goals for yourself than, say, Thomas Edison, Magellan, these type of people.
Magellan? You like Magellan?
Oh, yeah, my favorite explorer. Around the world, come on. Who do you like?
I like DeSoto.
DeSoto? What did he do?
He discovered the Mississippi.
Oh, yeah, like they wouldn't have found that anyway.
This just it feels kind of like a nice breather, because we're getting so much plot this episode with Keith and George. It's nice just to have this aside between Jerry and George about all these, the discoverers and all that.
Well, I was going to say this episode even has the explorer debate on who's your favorite explorer, and you see this a lot in the commercials for syndication. Check out Seinfeld this week at 7 p.m. on Fox, whatever. But yeah, this episode literally has everything shoehorned into, everything. All these Seinfeld references are in this episode.
Yes,
it's chock full of Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, it's a nice breather. I feel like in this episode when you're getting so much plot, you get a little bit about the explorers here.
And they still can't come to an agreement on who's the best explorer or who their favorite is. Jerry's putting down DeSoto, and you like Magellan. Yeah, come on.
The commentary I mentioned earlier on the DVDs, Jason pointed out that he remembers the shirt he's wearing in this scene because he wore it on the cover of a TV guide, and it's just a really weird, loud shirt. And I found that cover of the TV guide, so I'll be sure to post a little screen grab of that.
Nice going, buddy.
Next scene is at the unemployment office, our last time there this episode, or ever for that matter. Very similar to the scene before. George is on his feet, he's ranting, coming up with more excuses about why his last plan didn't work out. And he's kind of criticizing Carrie a little bit here. But
Yeah.
Mrs. Sokol, she doesn't care. She's not having it. And
well, wait, can we just talk about the end of that little dialogue he has?
I'm not going to beg her.
I'm not going to beg her.
Mrs. Sokol wants George to sign the form, finally. And just like before, he goes in to sign, and he looks at something on the desk, looking for one last, escape hatch. But he notices a baseball on her desk. This is what we get.
You like baseball?
That was autographed by the 86 Mets. I saw every inning that year.
It's funny, because I happen to be very good friends with Keith Hernandez.
You know Keith Hernandez.
No. Would you like to meet him?
Oh, come on.
I can produce Keith Hernandez right here within the hour.
All right. You got 1 hour.
I can't believe that George, once again, third attempt at trying to trick this woman. He's going for it.
Gum, daughter, Keith Hernandez.
Right. Or Vandalay Industries. Latex more. But yeah, even before that, there was Gum. There was...
Vandalay, Carrie, Keith Hernandez. That's what it would be.
What shocks me even more is that Mrs. Sokol is playing ball, so to speak. Yeah. I don't know why she's like, listen, I don't care. I don't care about your lies or what you can promise. Sign the form. But yeah, anyways, I don't know if you feel the
But
same
she falls for it though.
Yeah, she does.
Well, she gives him one more out, but I don't know what.
No, she gives him one more hour. This ultimately leads George to go through the same scenario. It's all coming full circle. It tries out the phone booth from before, but there's this huge, is it a construction worker, I think?
Construction worker, a big, hulking, beastly man.
Bulging man. He's in there. He just leaves him alone. He tries a cab, but it's the same one he had before that he got kicked out of.
Get out of my cab.
And we get our last scene at Jerry's apartment. And Jerry is getting ready to head out with Keith. You know, they're ready to move. There's some awkwardness, though, coming from him. You can tell he just doesn't want to do this. It's tense. It's uncomfortable. But
similar to when you're in that amorous situation with somebody and it doesn't feel right, and you don't want to do it.
Yeah. So Keith is pretty casual. You know, he's like, "Hey, it won't take long. Maybe 4 hours."
Yeah.
I never
3 inches thick.
Yeah, let's go through the list here. You got 2 dressers. You got a bed, box spring attached to the headboard. Sectional couch, 12 pieces. 12 pieces. I love these shots of the back and forth, and Keith is just like, "Yep, 12 pieces." He's again. I was saying what a decent actor he is, but in this scene, it's so funny because his expression is so blank. Like there's no like, "Yeah, sorry, it's 12 pieces," or "Yeah, 12 pieces." It's just very.
But it works for the sake of this discussion.
Yeah, because he's so out of touch with Jerry's feelings here. It's perfect. And as you mentioned, Vinny, the marble coffee table. That's a good trivia question, right? Where did he get it?
Italy,
yep. There's a convertible sofa, too, which is going to be tricky getting down the stairs.
Stairs? There's no elevator?
No, brownstone, 3 floors.
I'm sorry. I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't. It's so soon. I don't know you. I can't help you move. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't.
Wow. That Jerry Seinfeld was turned up to 11.
I'm sorry.
No, that was great.
Enter Kramer.
Oh, and one of the greatest entrances of all time.
Is this the spin?
Yep.
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, you don't remember me?
No, should I?
Yeah, you should. Because I certainly remember you. Let me refresh your memory.
June 14th, 1987. Mets, Phillies. You made a big error, cost the Mets the game. Then you're coming up the parking lot ramp.
You said, "Nice game, pretty boy."
You remember.
And then you spit on us.
Hey, I didn't spit it.
Oh, yeah, right.
No. Well, then who was it?
Well, look, the way I remember it, I was walking up the ramp. I was upset about the game. That's when you called me pretty boy. Okay, that ticked me off. I was starting to turn around to say something. And as I turned around, I saw Roger McDowell behind the bushes over by that gravelly road. Anyway, he was talking to someone and they were pointing at you. I tried to scream out, but it was too late. It was already on its way.
Told you. Wow. It was McDowell.
But why? Why McDowell? Well, maybe because we were sitting in the right field stands cursing at him in the bullpen all game.
He must have caught a glimpse of us when I poured that beer on his head. It was McDowell.
Oh, boy. Look, Keith, we're sorry.
Yeah, I could be sorry, all right.
Oh, the guys, don't worry about it. Well, I guess I better get going.
Wait, no. What are you doing?
Well, I gotta move.
You want any help?
I'd love some. You sure?
I'd love to help you move.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, guys, we gotta be careful. Okay. One thing, some of the stuff's very fragile. We're gonna have to handle it like a baby.
Hey, no sweat.
And I feel kind of bad. We didn't give much love, or any love really, for Newman in the previous scene. That's very similar to this. But he's so good in this episode. Second appearance by Wayne Knight.
Oh yeah,
he's
funny. He's so integral to this story too. He has to be there.
Oh, absolutely. And I love how he shows up just out of nowhere. Mets, Phillies. So here we get the resolution to the spitting, as it were, the spit attack. It's funny that it turns out to be Roger McDowell, because even in the first scene, when you see the footage, You do see Roger McDowell spitting on them.
You do see it, but I think they have that guy opening the umbrella, so your attention's supposed to be diverted to the gentleman to the right opening the umbrella. But now, having seen the episode, you can't not see McDowell in the bushes.
Yes.
So yeah, it's so hard. Take an overview. Can you take an overview of the scene? But you can't. You always notice him.
Sure. Now, I did not know this. You might have, that Roger McDowell wasn't the original second spitter, right?
Oh, correct. They originally wanted Darryl Strawberry to be the spitter, and he was a popular baseball player back then. But unfortunately, he also had a lot of problems in media, and I think he was dealing with drugs and all these various issues. And Keith Hernandez actually thought it would be a bad idea, given all the bad publicity that Darryl Strawberry had encountered, that he not do the episode. So then they approached Roger McDowell, who was on a different team at the time, but he came in and did it. And he didn't have any lines, but he had a great spit.
Yeah.
His mother was a spitter. His father was a spitter. But I don't know if you guys remember, MTV used to have the Rock and Jock softball games and all those celebrity sports events back in the 90s. Roger McDowell was almost on every single one, and he was the biggest jokester and prankster.
Oh.
And he'd always wear a wig or some funny getup. So he was tailor-made for this part to be the second spitter on Seinfeld. So I'm really glad they got him.
So he was on the Mets, I guess, with Hernandez in the 80s. I think he was a relief pitcher.
No, I think he was on a different team. Let me look up real quick.
Oh, okay. While you're looking that up, the guys head out, and the phone rings, and it's Elaine. Jerry is ecstatic to hear that, she broke up with Keith as well.
You broke up with him.
Well, even though it was over something as trivial as smoking, and he, of course, has that great line, "You're like dating C. Everett Koop," which I think you've used on me before.
Yeah. So McDowell was on the Mets from 85 to 89, so he did play with Hernandez.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Then he went to the Phillies, then the Dodgers, then the Rangers, and he finished with the Orioles in 96. Now he is currently a coach for the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, how do you like that?
I wonder if he ever gets approached about this episode.
Do people spit on him when they see him?
Oh, that's something I could definitely see happening. So Jerry and Elaine make plans to meet up later, and at that moment, George bursts through the door like a tornado.
Keith! Keith! What happened? What happened? Where's Keith?
You just missed him. He just left. What do you need him for?
Keith! Keith! Up here! Look, could you do me a favor? I need you to go to the unemployment office with me. I'm Jerry's friend, the guy from the locker room. I'm the chucker. It'll take 5 minutes. Wait! Wait!
Well, Biff? What's next?
I don't know.
Excuse me. I was walking behind you and you dropped your wallet.
This is another moment. I don't know if this got brought up before during the alternate side when I asked the question to our fans, and we heard from a lot of them, what's one of George's biggest explosive, chaotic moments. This definitely feels like one of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also running out of the bathroom with the pants around the ankle, but God, I feel so bad for George. Like, he's just trying so desperately, not just one episode, but a 2-parter episode, trying so hard to keep this unemployment insurance.
I think he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah.
He's a jerk to Keith. He was a jerk to Carrie. So,
lied to Mrs. Sokol 3 times.
Right. But it's nice how it comes full circle in that we begin the episode with the introduction of the Chucka.
Yeah.
And now we end it with the, I'm the Chucka.
And in a sense, that's the only way he would be known, because he only had that one scene with them, right?
Yeah.
One of the oddest moments on Seinfeld, but it works. Yeah. A very tall woman walks through the door to give George his wallet that he dropped outside, and it's funny because it's like, as you mentioned, George doesn't deserve like happiness in this moment. Like, he's getting what he deserved since he was acting like such a jerk, but he hits just the lowest he's ever been, and he gets rewarded for some reason, which is kind of nice.
He loses his wallet. Not only does somebody return it, but it happens to be this very tall woman, attractive, who he had just said earlier. One of his goals in life was to have sex with a really tall woman.
He looks so happy when he sees her. Like, he's just so content.
Yeah. Now, I did some Googling. This actress, credited as Tall Woman, is played by Melanie Good. She was in the movie Private Parts, the Howard Stern, semi-biopic. She was also in Jack Frost 2, that horror movie about the killer snowman. But according to IMDb, she is 5'11".
Yes, I read as well that she was actually standing on a box.
Oh, okay.
Or they put some sort of ramp or something when she enters.
Lifts. Maybe she's wearing lifts.
Yeah, well, because she's like a giant, almost like isn't coming through the door frame completely. But yeah, she's not nearly as tall as you would think.
All right.
There was also an alternate ending to the scene, though, also involving this tall woman played by Melanie Good, where she would come in. She had a different outfit on. It was like a black leather, kind of like that jacket that Elaine wore, I think, with those tassels. Maybe I'm making that part up. Sorry.
Okay. Matt, please.
With points. But she walked in and she gave George his wallet, and he's like, "Oh, thanks very much." And he just like pushes her out the door. He counts the cash in the wallet and making sure it's all there. And Jerry's like, "What the hell? You know, there was the giant you were talking about." And he just says, "Not my type." And it's not as good as this one.
I like the idea of him counting the money to make sure it's all there, but I don't like the idea of him dismissing an attractive woman when clearly that is his type.
Yeah, like it just doesn't. It's a funny moment that George would totally piss away, like a night full of guilt-free sex. But it just doesn't seem like where his character is in this moment, like that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like this ending to the episode because even though, as you mentioned, Vinny, George kind of deserves this, I feel like he should get a break. We're reaching the end here. Our last chunk of stand-up.
When you're moving, your whole world becomes boxes. That's all you think about is boxes. Where are there boxes? You just wander down the street going in and out of stores. Are there boxes here? Have you seen any boxes? I mean, it's all you think about. You can't even talk to people because you can't concentrate. Shut up! I'm looking for boxes! Just after a while, you become like really into it. You could smell them. You walk in the store. There's boxes here. Don't tell me you don't have boxes. Damn it, I can smell them! I'm like obsessed. I love the smell of cardboard in the morning. You could be at a funeral. Everyone's mourning, crying around you. You're looking at the casket. That's a nice box. Does anybody know where that guy got that box? When he's done with it, you think I could get that? It's got some nice handles on it. And that's what death is, really. It's the last big move of your life. The hearse is like the van. The pallbearers are your close friends. The only ones you could really ask to help you with a big move like that. And the casket is that great, perfect box you've been looking for your whole life. The only problem is, once you find it, you're in it.
How many stand-ups have we covered so far? Is this our fifth?
Five stand-ups.
I would say Jerry is 5 for 5.
Yeah.
I mean,
all appropriate, all relatable to the show, and they're very long-winded as well.
Yeah, very long, but not where he's like just beating something to death or it's not going anywhere. Like it's brilliant.
It's all quality over quantity.
Absolutely, and I do like how he gets a little dark where he's like, at the funeral, and he's like, "That's a nice box." Does anyone know where he got that box? Well, should we move on to ratings, Vinny?
Yeah.
All right.
So, what do you think?
This was a long one. This is gonna be tough. I loved everything about this episode. I said it in the beginning. The one gripe I had was the lack of Elaine storyline, and they actually had to add to that solely to fill the 44 minutes, or 46 minutes rather. But everything about Jerry's storyline, him and Keith, walking this delicate line of, what kind of relationship do they have? George going to great lengths to avoid losing his unemployment. Mrs. Sokol, as well as Carrie, the daughter, are wonderful guest stars. So perfect. Newman and Kramer teaming up for one of the first times, and you can see why they're so good together. And the whole reenactment of the JFK assassination is brilliant. I have a feeling we're going to be saying a lot of the same things here, so I apologize. Kramer doesn't have too much to do other than his distaste for Keith Hernandez. But they still find a way to get him in there. Keith Hernandez is a welcome addition to the Seinfeld universe, and he plays himself, but it's kind of like when Jerry started and Jerry was new to acting. He was surrounded by great people, and that's what's happened in this episode. Keith is surrounded by these great people, and it works. You believe him playing himself within the confines of the Seinfeld universe. And it's so nice that Keith actually comes back in the finale to reprise his role, and him and Putty share a little back and forth, and I think they play pool together or something with Banya. But yeah, overall, this was a damn good episode, and I laughed out loud at times. And having said that, I'm afraid to do it.
Oh, do what you got to do.
I'm gonna screw it. I'm gonna give it 10 magic loogies out of 10. Hope I didn't steal your barometer for this week.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, good.
Vinny, I agree with everything you said. It was well said, actually. I don't have any issues with this episode, what you said at all. This is this is my favorite Seinfeld episode. I can definitely commit to saying that. I love this episode. It hasn't aged a day since it originally aired 23 years ago. I would take this episode with me, to a desert island, or if I had to destroy all the Seinfeld episodes except for one, this is the one I'd keep. I just love it. And something I didn't really mention before is how, this whole JFK scene, which to me is really the highlight of the episode. It's kind of a parody, and it's something that Seinfeld hadn't really done up to this point. And I think in a weird way, it kind of raised the bar for what Seinfeld was able to do in future episodes. The first episode that raised the bar was the Chinese restaurant. I think The Boyfriend raises the bar again, and arguably
Parking garage.
Parking garage, yeah, to an extent.
A little bit.
But more the Chinese restaurant, just in the sense that they were in one room the whole time.
Right, like a play.
Like a play. But yeah, Parking Garage evolved, broke off of that. The next episode that raises the bar even higher for me is and you would probably agree, is the contest. Mm-hmm. So again, they're just these episodes, at least one per season, that just kind of, let's turn it up a notch. And
it's go time.
It's go time, exactly. And yeah, I'm just so happy that this episode exists, that it's an hour long, that it holds up, and yeah, I love it so much. So I will be giving this episode, like you, Vinny, 10 latex-related products out of 10. That's going to do it for us at Seincast. Vinny, could you let everyone know how they can get in touch with us?
Sure, Keith. You can email us at seincast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook, or follow us on Pinterest or Tumblr.
And if you haven't already, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes. The more feedback we get, hopefully the more Seinfeld fans will find out about the show. A lot of you have left us ratings and reviews and just have had the nicest things to say about what we do here, and it really means a lot. So thank you so much. Vinny, what episode are we covering next week?
We will be discussing the 17th episode of Season 3, The Fix-Up. And Matt, you remember those condoms I gave you?
Yeah.
Don't use them. They're defective.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off.
Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. The official Seinfeld site can be found at sonypictures.com/TV/Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Castle Rock Entertainment or their respective trademark and copyright holders.
The next thing you know, he's going to have you driving him to the airport.
I'm not driving him to the airport.